Yo, what's up? What's up? My bad, y'all. I was kind of zoned out for a minute listening to the war that's going on in my town right now, man. There's a whole war. It sounds like a whole war going on right now. People just popping off left and right. People shooting at each other for no reason other than destructive reasons. There's a whole war going on right now. It's crazy, man. You live in your own town, your own hometown be the worst place to live in because when you're born somewhere and you live there your whole life, you just as you're growing up, you just watch as it decays more and more and more. And not just the town itself, but the people that live in that town as well, man. There barely used to be any crime that went on. Obviously there was something that would happen every once in a while when I was a kid, but now it's like every other day there was somebody was attacked with a knife, or somebody was attacked with a firearm. And just earlier I heard like, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Just earlier I just heard like 8 or 9. These hiccups are gonna really piss me off. I just heard like 8 or 9 gunshots going off, to the right of me that way, a ways down, and it's crazy, man. You just watch as your own hometown deteriorates more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and that's crazy. That's crazy to me. The fact that nobody really cares about it either. Nobody within your own community will really care about what's going on in your community. It'll always be the people that are outside of your community that see it and try to do something. And the people within your community will shove them out because they don't want change. Because they're too comfortable in how they're living. They're too comfortable living in the slums, in the dump. It's a shame, man. We got to do better. Not only for ourselves, but for our children as well. If we don't secure a future for ourselves, our children will not have a secure future either. And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong at is they're too busy worried about what everybody else is doing. They're not worried about being able to set up their kids for a good future either. They're too worried about trying to do what everybody else is doing. Me, I don't care what everybody else is doing. I never cared about what everybody else is doing. That's what everybody else is doing. Everybody too focused on what everybody else is doing. We don't focus on ourselves. We don't focus on our children, on our families. We don't focus on none of that. Not enough, anyways. But yeah, man. Appreciate every single one of y'all for tapping in here tonight. I need every single one of y'all to tap the follow and the bell button if y'all like what you see and like what you hear. Y'all found me by way of the algorithm, and y'all know how TikTok be sniping people's lives off the algorithm. So that being said, man, come join the family. It's free. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get on to this next topic, man. If y'all see me shivering or anything, just bear with me. It's a little cold out here right now, but we sticking through it, We sticking through it. But, yeah, man, I noticed something. Earlier today I was at the store, and y'all know some stores, they got automotive sections, They even have, some of them have shops attached to them for cars and stuff. And I realized this when I was in school. They didn't teach us about how to change a tire. They didn't teach us about how to check and change the oil. They didn't teach us about how to change the battery. They didn't teach us nothing about this stuff. They don't teach us about saving and investing money into something that will bring us more money in the future. They don't teach us none of that important stuff. They don't teach us about taxes. They don't teach us about rent. They don't teach us anything about being an adult. They don't. They teach us, how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and all that other bull crap. They teach you about history, science. They teach you how to read. But they don't teach you any of the important things that you need to know as an adult. All that stuff is learned by yourself. Just like they just throw you out to the wolves when in school. They just throw you out to the wolves. There's no, this is what's going to happen when you grow up. There's none of that. This is what you do whenever your car breaks down. None of that. There ain't none of that out there, And I was listening to an interview that Dewberry did with, I think, what was it, Boss Talk or Boss Talks, one of the two. I don't remember what the name is, but they were talking about how they don't teach kids in at least middle school how to save and invest money. What taxes is, what you're gonna have to do when you grow up. How to apply for a job, or how to take care of your car, keep it running. They don't teach y'all. They don't teach us about none of that stuff. And they're not going to, because they want this country, they want the future, they want our kids to be dumbed down. So it's easier for them to take over. I mean, that's the fact. That's the facts, That's just pure facts. And it's a shame because you see a lot of people, especially from, and I hate to say this, but my generation, I don't associate with this generation. It was just the generation that I happened to be born in. You see a lot of people from this generation with cars broke down on the side of the road or a flat tire, and they don't even know what to do. They don't know what to do. They got no clue. They don't know how to see. They don't know how to tell if the alternator is still good or not. They don't know how to tell if the battery is pooped or not. They don't know how to change a tire. They don't even know how to work a jack. Isn't that crazy, man? The people from this generation barely know how to work a jack, and they're on the side of the road calling for help, wasting money, when literally all you need to do is jack it up and change the tire. But people don't know that because they're not taught that in school. And they also don't have what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have a role model in their lives, whether it be their mom or their dad or an older brother or an uncle or whoever. It doesn't even need to be family. It could be somebody outside of the family who would teach their kids or the family or their family friends. It could be either one of them, to teach them, this is what you do when this happens. This is what you do when you're an adult. This is what this and that for. That's what this and that. They don't. They don't got nobody to show them that. So how can you expect them to know what to do? When you see these people on the side of the road, I'm like, dang, man. They be setting everybody up for failure out here. The least they could do is at least teach them how to check the oil and change the tire, you would think. I would think that's basic knowledge that you would need to know, because as an adult, you got to get a car so you can drive yourself back and forth from work to home or wherever else it is you got to go to, maybe school or wherever, But they don't. They set us up for failure out here because they want us to rely on them so they can profit off of us even more and more. And it's crazy, man. They don't teach kids how to defend themselves against predators. They don't do none of that, man. They don't do none of that. If there's one thing that I'm probably proud of in my whole life, it's having the privilege of being able to teach kids how to defend themselves back when I was still in Kung Fu. Yeah. Our kids need to know how to defend themselves. They need to know how to tell if somebody is trying to take them or not. But at the same time, not in a not in a crazy way. When I say not in a crazy way, I mean not in a way that might scar them, but maybe just teach them subtle hints. Strangers walking up to you, talking to them, stuff like that, or little contacts here and there, stuff like that. I guess they don't teach kids that. They don't teach kids how to kick somebody, and what, if they trying to cause harm to them, if they trying to take them, whatever. They don't teach kids how to do that. They don't teach kids nothing. They setting us up for failure, and they setting our kids up for failure, and that's why it's up to you, the household, to make sure that your kids got what they need and know what they need to know, and understand that life ain't all that, man. Life is hard, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Nobody's ever said life would be easy. And with that being said, man, I'm going to get up on out of here. I'll be right back for the last episode of the night, so make sure that y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back. Deuces.